Welcome back to Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, powered by KICK 92.3 and presented by Great Southern Bank and the Missouri High Patrol, who reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Coming in here for a basketball preview, we go to Willard High School, head girls basketball coach, J.J. Adamson. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
You got it. Good to see you, guy. Thank you for having us.
Hey, you bet. Always good to see your face. And Coach, coming out of a 22-5 season, a tremendous season a year ago, started the year off 10-0. But you lose some to graduation. What are you going to have to replace, and what's the outlook for this year with the Lady Tigers?
Yeah, just coming off of, like you said, best season in our program's history in recent memory. We've got a lot to replace. We only returned one starter. We lost 4 seniors. And those young ladies meant a ton, not only statistically, but probably even more so leadership-wise. So I would say that the biggest challenge that we have coming up is going to be able to replace that type of senior leadership. Last year was just so neat to be a part of, because no one cared, how many points they scored, or how many assists they had, or if one person had a good game and another person didn't. When it all came down to it, they just cared whether they won or not. And when you get a group like that, it's just, you hate to ever see it come to an end in any season, but those seasons are just really special because there was no strife in the locker room. There was just nothing but basketball and winning, and people trying to take care of each other. And that was all kind of set in motion by those 4 seniors. And it was just really special for us to be a part of. It was a really fun year.
You talk about those 4 seniors that you lose. What can you update on where they are right now? Any of them, and what they're doing, and what they're looking forward to?
Yeah, sure. Vanessa Wells, she was kind of the unsung hero of our group last year. She did all the dirty work. She came up with the basically game-winning charge in the semifinals of the pink and white against Skyline. She stood in, took a charge, and we were going the other way. Bench really erupted, and she's going to college. She's kind of flirting with maybe taking a different direction, whether it be militarily or not. But right now she's enrolled in school and going to class and doing well. Ariana Patillo is up in St. Louis. She's playing basketball up at University of Health Sciences and Pharmacology. Jada Holloman is a D1 soccer player now up at Loyola in Chicago. She's doing really well, competing for some time as a Division I athlete, and it's pretty cool to catch up with her. First couple of practices, she was like, yeah, this is way different. And then Addie Adamson was our other senior, and she's with Coach Egan at Drury and having a blast and getting ready for their season to really crank up also. So 4 really good athletes and even better young ladies, and we're going to miss them.
So you lose those. Who's going to step in and fill those shoes? You're going to have some kids that are going to have to step up.
Yeah, Brielle Adamson was our leading scorer, and she's our lone returning starter. And a lot of the responsibility and leadership will fall upon her shoulders. We've got another senior, Madison Mills, that played a substantial role for us coming off the bench last year. She will also have to I think she's going to really flourish she's really good at being vocal, and she's another one of those really unselfish players. But I just like the makeup of our team this year, just because of the grit and toughness that we have. And Maddie will be a real spearhead for that. Another senior is Morgan Hall. She's played all 3 years in high school and be back for her senior year. And then we had a couple of sophomores last year that really came off the bench for us and fulfilled some huge roles. We went 9 or 10 deep last year, and that'll be Carolina Crawford, Kaylin Washington, and Ella Sims. And they had a really good summer. Things will be expected of them at the varsity level for the first time. And I think that they are going to respond really well. It will be a lot of fun just to see. We'll have some ups and downs, especially early. But I'm really anxious and excited to see how that core group of juniors responds to being kind of thrust into the spotlight. And, last year they were kind of able to, carry on what had already been started in the game. And, we try and play up tempo, try and get us, off to a quick start. And now instead of those young ladies trying to, take that handoff and carry it until the next rotation comes in, we're going to have to really, it'll be really interesting to see how well they can be the ones at the start line and get us going in the right direction early.
As you look around the COC, just, on the basketball side, and about the football side, but on the basketball side, kind of similar things. On the women's side, you've got the Republics, the Nixes, the Ozarks, the Webb Cities, Carl John. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's just a gauntlet all year long. Kind of handicap that league, but with what about who's got what coming back.
Yeah, you're entirely correct. I don't care what the sport is, man, and I'm not just saying it to be biased, but the COC has got to be one of the toughest conferences, if not across the board, the toughest conference in the state of Missouri. It's unbelievable. When you look at football schedules, you look at boys or girls basketball, tennis, golf, baseball, whatever. It doesn't matter. The COC is rocking, and there's no nights off. You can't just kind of look at your schedule and say, oh, in conference, we can get that game or we can get that game. It's tough all across the board. And you've got wonderful coaches and great programs, throughout. If you were going to ask me, to handicap it, I would have to say that just going on rosters, you're going to have to start with Nix and Republic. They are both, really, really talented. They both have excellent coaches. Both have had, a lot of success. And then when you leave there, I think you've got some situated like Webb City has a 6'3" freshman that we saw this summer. She's really going to add stuff for Coach Robbins down there. I think Branson could be markedly improved. Coach Boo does a great job. Coach Hepler coming in down at Ozark. They're always going to have some talent. It'll be really fun to see what kind of success he can have down there because he does not lack for basketball knowledge at all. He's going to do a fantastic job. And then out west, you always got Coach Shorter. I mean, Miss Bergey's coming back this year. She was an all-state performer last year, so they're going to be talented. Coach Floyd does a great job at Joplin. Then you've got Coach Moore down at Carthage, and the Osho's coming up as well. There's just no nights off. It just goes from one to the next to the next. So I think it'll be incredibly tough, but I think Coach Perriman and Coach Flood at Nixa and Republic are they're really going to battle it out this year.
And then you start off with Glendale this season. Then you've got the Willard Basketball Classic. Can you tell us about that field?
Yeah. Last year, we expanded from a 4-team field to 8-team. And we now have 16 teams on both the combined boys and girls side. And it was an awesome atmosphere last year, even with the COVID protocols and that championship night. Because right after our championship game on the girls' side, we had Greenwood and Kickapoo, which was a mega matchup. I mean, the gym was alive and people were out and watching basketball, and it was just really awesome. Great field coming back, and that on both sides of the ledger as well, both the great boys field. We've got people like Belton coming down from out of Kansas City, Bentonville West, Stratford's back in it, Harrison, Arkansas. So there's a real nice mix of small and large schools. Ash Grove's coming, Bolivar's coming. So it'll be a really nice mix, and it'll be another great tournament. And starting off with Glendale is not easy, especially when you got a guy like Dan Stander now back on the sidelines and patrolling. He'll be ready and have his girls going. So our schedule is really is pretty tough, but we're looking forward to seeing what this new crop can do.
Yeah, you bring up Dan Stander. I did my student teaching with Dan Stander at Greenfield High School. Of course, that's many, many, many moons ago. But Coach, all of a sudden something popped on here. But anyway, hey, Coach, I really appreciate your time today, and looking forward to getting back. Got to call that game that tournament a year ago, and you guys got a really big win over a very good Walnut Grove team, I think, the night I was there. And then, of course, the atmosphere on the boys' side was tremendous as well. But I always enjoy visiting with Coach Adamson, and hopefully we'll catch up as the season goes on.
Sounds good, man. You name it, we'll do it. I appreciate it.
All right. JJ Adamson, Willard Lady Tigers, back after this.